NXT Deadline is coming up this weekend, and the Iron Survivor matches are usually some of the most fun all year. The women's match this year is especially stacked, so let's dive into the Aussie Cousins Wrestling NXT Deadline Preview and predictions. And if you love NXT just as much as us Aussies, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and like the video. I'm Chris Apples and he's Mikey Spence, and Mikey, what's your overall thoughts on the Iron Survivor match as a concept?
Concept's amazing. It's wonderful. When they first incepted it, it was really good. It's had some wonderful finishes, wonderful storylines come out of it. I think it's a very unique setup, and I hope it stays NXT. I hope they do it every year like they are, but I think it's getting better and better and stronger and stronger.
Yeah, that's right. It just comes up with these really cool, unique storylines, and you just wonder how are they gonna build that tension until the end every single year. Usually those last few minutes of the Iron Survivor are just fantastic. But then like a few years ago, you get the situation with like Grace and Waller like just going, no, I'll take a quick submission here because I've got plenty of time on the clock. It's just one for someone who's not got a point yet. That's right. And then later on, when he came back out of the penalty box, he got 2 pins straight away just after it. So it just really comes up with some unique ideas in a match. And of course, if we remember the winners from last year, that was Oba Femi. Did he do anything good out of it? Of course he did. He had one of the best years in NXT ever, just about. And then Julia, she ended up going on and winning the NXT Women's Championship at New Year's Eve as well. And then, of course, she's then being pushed onto the main roster from then on. So the first match on the card is the one that they have announced as being the opener for NXT Deadline, and that is Ricky Saints versus Oba Femi for the men's NXT Championship. Who have you got and why?
Well, they say it'd rather be first match or last match in the cards, what they say. I'm going with Ricky Saints. I do believe he's going to win this. I have a bit of an angle. I believe Dark State are going to come in and just destroy both of them. And it's going to cause DQ, which is going to give Ricky Saints the win. So of course they've got their boy Dion Lennox in the men's Iron Survivor match, so they're trying to build up him later on in the match, probably thinking that he can beat Ricky Saints more than he can beat Dion Lennox, even though Dion Lennox talks a good game against Oba Femi. Alright, so I've got Ricky Saints to win this one as well, but my angle alert for this one now, if you saw at the end of NXT, Ricky Saints and Oba Femi, they have that face-off with Ava. Behind Ava flashes an image of a bridge. Who in NXT is synonymous with bridges? It's Tony D'Angelo. I think Tony D'Angelo is coming back. So he was rumored to have gone up to SmackDown, and then they just didn't have the creative for him. So I reckon he's gone back to NXT. I reckon Ricky Saints is turning heel at NXT Deadline with a newly healed Tony D'Angelo, who is now his protector, like a proper mob boss, not like a babyface mob boss. Just that really weird storyline, but one of the best in NXT of all time, of course, Tony D'Angelo and the family. But I think Tony D'Angelo is coming back, helping Ricky Saints get the win, unless they've completely thrown out a red herring for us all there. Okay, now the Women's Iron Survivor match. We have Sol Ruca, Kelani Jordan, Lola Vice, Jordynne Grace, and Kendal Grey. Mikey, what's your pick? First thing, what a match this could be. This could be explosive. It could be one of the best matches of the year if it goes to plan. I'm going for a bit of a long shot. I'm going Kendal Grey. She's had a hell of a year. Come up. This is the biggest moment to shine. And NXT do this every now and then. They throw somebody in to give someone a shot. I'm just going for it.
I think that would be a fantastic choice. And then Kendal Grey versus JC Jane. They are not going to hold back on each other because we know JC loves laying it in these days. And Kendal is more than happy to take it. I am going to go for a little bit different. I think it is now Jordynne Grace's turn to get the win. I think they have got to finally crown her or push her up to the main roster. And I have a little bit of an angle alert for this one, in that I think Sol Ruca is going to be the one in the lead, and then she is going to get pinned and she's in the penalty box. As she comes out of the penalty box, there's a couple of people down. She looks like she's about to take her opportunity, and whack! She gets speared out of her boot by Zarya, of course, who looked like, did she go for Sol or did she go for Kendal on NXT this week? I think she looked like she was going for Sol Ruca. I think she's actually going to turn on Sol Ruca this week, and then they do their feud finally that's been brewing all year.
Mind you, that spear, she nearly took Kendal through the floor.
Oh, absolutely. Kendal Grey took a hell of a bump.
Oh my
Zaria
God.
is genuinely one of the best spears in all of wrestling, I would think. But yeah, I think Jordynne Grace is then going to be the beneficiary of that, and she's going to be the one to pick up the win. Okay, now for the men's NXT North American Championship, it is Ethan Page versus Mr Iguana, and I hear the sighs, Michael. What have you got for this one?
Oh, Ethan Page, and I am a little bit nervous about this one. It could dampen the mood very quickly. If Mr Iguana comes and actually does his stuff really well, he's okay. But if he just fails and botches, it becomes a bit of a nightmare situation. Ethan for me all the way. I can't see Mr Iguana winning it, but I'm nervous. I'm really nervous.
Yeah, me too. Mr Iguana's last performance on NXT was, of course, in that tag match with the new La Parka against Leon Slater and Javon Evans, and unfortunately, it was a disaster for me. I thought his performance was not good at all, and having to put Javon Evans and Leon Slater through all of his shtick was just ridiculous.
It's a weird one, because when I watched the AAA event the other week, he's brilliant in AAA, but when he comes over to the WWE, he seems to struggle. I don't know what it is.
I agree. Yeah. And he's had those matches on SmackDown earlier in the year, and he just didn't do too well on those ones as well. Ethan Page for me. There's no way they are moving this title on to Mr Iguana. I wouldn't have thought. Okay, and now in the grudge feud, it is Izzi Dame taking on one of our favourites here at AC Dub, and that is, of course, Tatum Paxley. Mikey, who's your pick?
I've got Tatum Paxley. If you've seen NXT, that was one scary promo she did. It was really unhinged. Yeah. And it was quite awkward to watch. But Tatum for me, I do have an angle alert.
Yeah.
I believe during the match, it looks like Izzy's going to win on the outside. And then Sean Spears and Nico Vance block. And then Sean Spears actually instructs Nico Vance to actually distract Izzy, giving Tatum the win. I think they're going to turn on Izzy. Sean Spears' face tonight at the end of the promo was a bit odd.
Okay.
When Tatum goes, "You don't understand the pain I'm going to do to you," what I felt. Sean sort of went, sort of turned a bit to Nico and sort of nodded. So I don't know what that meant. Maybe they're throwing another red herring or something. But it looked very good, so that's what I'm going with. Yeah,
that's really good, because that's the kind of thing that Sean Spears' character would like to hear from someone who is in his stable. For me, I think Izzi Dame is going to get the win in this one. And of course, in our Wrestling Predictions League, we are 1 point apart from each other. So obviously, Mikey's going to go for a couple of different ones to me in this one. Let's see who gets the win overall for the year. But I think not so much of an angle for me, but just for something that I think is going to happen, that I think Izzi Dame is going to continue on a beatdown of Tatum Paxley after the match, with Nico Vance and Sean Spears kind of like blocking the ring. And then Lyra Valkyria comes out, swinging a kendo stick, takes out Nico Vance with a kendo stick, maybe Sean Spears as well. And then I reckon she could just about get Sean Spears up for the Nightwing, or do something to Sean Spears, because she's got the strength to do that kind of thing. And then she helps out her longtime friend now, Tatum Paxley. But again, I think Izzy's going to win. Mikey's going for Tatum. And finally, it's the men's Iron Survivor match. It is Javon Evans, Leon Slater, Joe Hendry, Dion Lennox, and Myles Borne.
Honestly, I was torn. You could put a blanket over three of these to win. I've gone with Joe Hendry because I'm just trying to get you on the votes and the tipping it towards the end. I just hope it works. There's a few different styles of wrestlers in here, and I just hope it doesn't go the wrong way. But I'm pretty confident it won't. But I'm just going Joe Hendry just to be something different, to be honest.
Yeah, I think this is going to be fantastic. And I reckon this could have a ridiculous last couple of minutes if you've got Javon Evans and Leon Slater especially being able to move around all over the ring and trying to get those really close pinfalls towards the end of the match, especially if one of them is like 1 point or 2 points behind. You could see them just sprinting the entire way, just trying to get those extra points. For me, I think it's time to give Javon Evans a big win here, and I think it's time at New Year's Evil for him to then get the belt off Ricky Saints. I think Javon Evans needs to be strapped up with something soon. And for me, it should just be straight to the top of NXT eventually, and that should be him beating Ricky Saints coming up very soon. And that starts with a win here in the Iron Survivor.
You just worry if Javon doesn't win it soon, he's going to be like another LA Knight sort of situation where once he's done all the storylines, where do they go with him?
Exactly.
You don't want that with him because he's he's got the momentum. The push, the crowd is insanely in love with him. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Joe Hendry is in a great spot to be a winner in this one as well.
Yeah.
As going into like the first PLE of the year for NXT, New Year's Evil. Actually, I think it might be a special show, one of those special NXT shows, a Tuesday show.
Special, yeah.
So I think he's like in a great position for that kind of thing to be the challenger for the title. But I think Javon Evans is also in a great position as well. All right, so that's what we think. And here at the Wrestling Predictions League, it is 90 points to me, 89 to Mikey for the entire year. It comes down to this, a literal deadline for us two to see who will win the league at the end of the year. Make sure you put down in the comments what your predictions are for this week and chuck us in a juicy angle for something you'd love to see play out. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel as we head on our way to hopefully monetization very, very soon. Click on one of the videos right now to continue on your ACW journey.